Alrighty, this will be the People News. One more time at it, okay? Never just look straight forward. Always look around you. Be able to protect yourself by any means necessary, okay? Arm yourself with knowledge. Use that Second Amendment. And, I did this a little backwards. So, I'm not an attorney. This is educational purpose only. Do not misconstrue of my opinion being an attorney, okay? I don't want to be chained down to the bar union or any judges, even though we all are subjects. Which brings us to the video of today. All right, so this is part two because I had my head up my butt and forgot to delete some videos as I was coming through here. And been a weekend with a couple of my grandbabies. The wifey was out of town and she went to go visit the other grandbabies. So let's proceed forward, shall we?
Stability. This marked the first significant shift toward a centralized system of governance and finance. Yivervi, the rise of the corporate federal government. The passage of the Act of 1871 formalized the dual entity nature of the federal government. Creation of a municipal corporation, Washington, D.C., was incorporated as a distinct corporate entity, often referred to as the United States. Expansion of
Just so you guys don't know, that would be 28 USC 3002 15B. Actually, I believe it's B15. All right. Now, it's been a while since I looked it up. If it's not 28, then it would be under 18. But I'm led to believe, of my false memory, that it's 28. So, therefore, it tells you. It just plain out tells you it's a corporation. United States is a corporation. All right? I didn't write the damn thing. They did. So I'm not lying to you. They are.
Corporate powers. The federal government began to operate under corporate law, distinct from its constitutional role as a trustee. Dual structure. The United States functioned both as a constitutional republic and as a corporate debtor, setting the stage for future financial reforms. The Progressive Era and the 16th Amendment. The 16th Amendment, ratified in 1913, introduced a federal income tax. While it appeared to expand the federal government's taxing power, its implications were more nuanced. A. Excise tax on federal privileges. The income tax was an excise tax on federal privileges, such as the use of Federal Reserve notes, introduced in 1913, engagement in activities tied to federal jurisdiction or benefits. B. Application to federal citizens' income taxation primarily applied to 14th Amendment citizens who were subject to federal jurisdiction. State citizens, under the original constitutional framework, would not have been inherently liable unless they...
That little buzzing in, I'm going to have to figure out how to shut that off. So, therefore, as an honorable man, I'm going to apologize to y'all, especially on the last one, because it kept going off for some reason.
Engaged in federally regulated activities. V6, the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 and the debt economy. The Federal Reserve Act centralized monetary control, creating a system reliant on debt and fiat currency. A. Federal Reserve notes as privileges. The Federal Reserve introduced a fiat currency, Federal Reserve notes, initially backed by gold but later sustained by public trust and government debt. B. Monetization of debt. The Federal Reserve enabled the government to issue bonds with repayment guaranteed by future tax revenues from federal citizens. This created a perpetual debt economy reliant...
I hate pausing it, but this is actually a good question of them all, of everybody. Once you become age of majority, whether today it's 18 or whether it's still 21, okay, 1940, age of majority was 21, but since then I think it's changed, okay, and I'm led to believe it was more of the war thing that changed everything to 18, and then trying to put back everything back into 21. In some cases, they're trying to get it to 25. But the question is, once you become 18, and if you had to fill out a form, And on that form, the question is, do you, for the rest of your life, want to be the United States of America Republic and be a state citizen? Or do you want to have privilege under the United States corporation body and be subject to? Right? Because they say what's reasonable, but you cannot make a reasonable decision if there's not a reasonable question. Just saying.
On borrowing, a system where the people's labor and income served as collateral for federal obligations. The sixth, the 1933 bankruptcy and Social Security. The Great Depression and subsequent abandonment of the gold standard in 1933 marked a turning point.
Okay, this is actually a very important time. So when the president at the time, and I can't think of his name, you guys could bring it up, FDR, DDR, PPR, whatever his name was, when they filed bankruptcy in 1933 and came up with all these statutes or rules, okay, it wasn't constitutional one way or the other, but gee Louise. The president and the Congress and all them went behind closed doors away from the people. And they discussed, and the president says, you know, if the people finds out what we're doing, they would come here with pitchforks and ropes. They knew the people wouldn't approve it. And when it was time and said and done, you know, we was, I guess, busy trying to survive. All right, and distractions intervened, but that would be the time when men was men, and they probably would have done it. Let's go.
Bankruptcy. The corporate United States assumed massive debts, transitioning to a fully fiat currency system. Social Security and federal enfranchisement. The Social Security Act of 1935 formalized federal citizenship by tying individuals to federal obligations through Social Security numbers. Vate, the people as creditors.
All right, most people don't realize this, but that right there is what they used to get a nexus, a citizen nexus attached to you. Okay?
Cumulative effect of the 14th Amendment, 16th Amendment, and Federal Reserve Act made the American people the ultimate guarantors of federal debt. Tax revenue as collateral. Income taxes provided a reliable stream of revenue to repay public debt. Labor and productivity. The people's labor and income underpinned the credit system, positioning them as creditors to the corporate United States. IX. Conclusion. The corporate debt system. The transformation of the United States into a dual entity system, functioning as both a constitutional republic and a corporate entity.
Okay. So, in short, right, some of the people go in court. Some of them actually stands on the republic side. And you know what attorneys and little sheepies call them? They call them sovereign citizens. The only ones that's actually doing and demanding the Constitution to apply, people are labeled them in alleged bad language. All right. So, not attorney, not giving legal advice. But we got to realize, like he said, there is two. And when you see some of these people demanding the constitutional right and all that, that they are demanding a judicial judge, not administrative judge. Then you got the other ones, you know, supposed to be taking over due to our signature is what creates the alleged money, the banknotes. All right, and they try to take control of that. And again, they created out this without our full hand knowledge. They didn't have all four elements of a contract law. Okay, and sorry, people, you tacit agreed to their terms that you're going to be their subjects.
Mentally altered the nature of governance and citizenship. The 14th Amendment, 16th Amendment, and Federal Reserve Act created a framework where the people became the ultimate guarantors of federal debt. Federal privileges, such as the use of fiat currency, became the basis for excise taxation. Sovereignty shifted from the states and individuals to a centralized corporate system. This history reflects the transition from a republic based on natural rights to a centralized system of financial dependence, with far-reaching implications for governance, taxation, and individual sovereignty.
Anyhow, there you guys go. Now, that being said, you actually have to never look straight forward. Always look around you. All right, and think of it outside the box. Because if you don't, then you're not realizing that you are a subject. You got to think outside the box and realize there's two different jurisdictions, right? People say, sovereign citizens challenge jurisdiction. But in the legal and lawful, in writing, you can challenge jurisdiction. And this is where Hale versus Hinkle arises at as well. Which one do you want to be in? Which jurisdiction? Do you want to be in a republic, or do you want to be in a corporate? And it don't really matter, because both government is trying to steal your freedom anyway. And they got themselves surrounded with all these sovereign citizen immunities. We, the people, that's supposed to be sovereign, don't have the sovereign immunity. And this is the reason why in a couple of my videos, we need to start making a claim that we are the state and demand the 11th Amendment. Just saying, if we don't use it, then we'll lose it. All right, this will be the People News. Till next time, bye y'all. Peace and love.